Now at 10, details of an EPA lawsuit alleging Southwest Missouri property owners are refusing mining waste cleanup. Plus, sentencing for a man who pled guilty to killing a man and shooting an Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper. And Missouri budget officials say the state is flush with cash. So how do they plan to spend it?
The four states' most watched news starts now.
The Environmental Protection Agency has filed a suit against 3 Oronogo, Missouri residents. This is KOAM News at 10. According to court documents, the 3 defendants named in the suit have denied the EPA access to their properties for testing and remediation. The suit names Ronald and Patricia West, as well as Randy Pendergraft. The suit involves properties in Oronogo owned by the West and 1 property owned by Pendergraft. Properties are part of the Oronogo-Dunaweg Mining Belt Superfund site, which is contaminated with lead waste. According to the suit, the EPA has attempted to gain access to the properties to do soil testing and ultimately cleanup of the contaminated land. We spoke with Ronald West, who declined to go on camera. He told us he and his mother, Patricia, were approached by the EPA in 2016 about access to their properties. West tells us when he looked at the paperwork from the EPA, he says it listed him as a grantor, and he became concerned about losing property rights if he signed those documents allowing the EPA on site. West says he was very careful to never tell the EPA no, and instead began work on a contract with the EPA for the work. For the complete court documents and a statement from the Department of Justice, check out this story at KOAMnewsnow.com. The D.C. Court of Appeals rules in favor of the city of Miami, Oklahoma, in a lawsuit against the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC. The ruling says FERC failed to appropriately analyze the city of Miami's complaint concerning the GRDA's operation of the Pensacola Dam. The city claimed the GRDA violated its license by flooding a property that does not have any legal right to flood. City Attorney Ben Loring said in a release, in part, "We have been battling this problem for decades, and until now, it seems that nobody would even listen to our issues, let alone care about our problems, except for the courts. We feel like someone is finally listening." Another cold night in the 4 states. Doug Heddy.
It is. It's been pretty cold over about the past 36 hours or so. Our temperatures really went nowhere today. We only went to 23. We started at 9 during the morning hours, and I think we'll go to that number, if not a little bit below, once again for us tonight. Clear skies. Not too much is going on here and across the entire 4-state area, so we don't have any rain or snow or anything like that we have to deal with. Temperatures, cold. We're dropping back lower teens, southwestern Missouri, mid to upper teens in Oklahoma, low to mid teens on the Kansas side, and temperatures will continue to slide back for us tonight. At least the winds have diminished a little bit. We still have that light kind of northeasterly wind, but it still gives us a wind chill factor. Makes it feel like single digits, lower single digits, Missouri, and then they climb a little bit once you get into Oklahoma and also parts of Kansas. We'll drop back to 7:15 by 9:29 by noon. High temp, a little bit better, 34 degrees. We'll look into the weekend here in just a bit.
See you then. Thanks, John. A judge sentences a Fairland, Oklahoma man to multiple life prison terms for killing 1 man and injuring 2 others, including an Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper. Edwin Ball gets 3 life sentences with release after 35 years for crimes that happened in March of 2020. Ball shot and killed Brendan Van Zwell and shot and injured Peter Stokes. The victims were the adult son and brother of Ball's girlfriend. Ball then barricaded himself in a house near Grand Lake, where he shot and injured an Oklahoma State trooper. In November, Ball accepted a deal pleading guilty to 3 charges: murder in the first degree, shooting with the intent to kill, and assault with a deadly weapon. Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Willie Gay is in legal trouble. Gay was arrested last night in Overland Park on misdemeanor criminal damage charges. Authorities say Gay damaged property, including a vacuum cleaner, during a confrontation with a woman. The Chiefs did not have a comment on the situation other than to say the club is aware of the incident. Gay's agent, Max Lepselter, released a statement saying that no one was physically harmed and that the incident happened during an argument with his son's mother. Missouri is flush. That was the message from Governor Parsons' state budget director while outlining for Capitol reporters the $46 billion spending plan for the fiscal year that begins on July 1st. Reporter Kermit Miller has more.
In total, lawmakers will see a budget proposal topping $46 billion.
With the way our revenues are growing right now, the way they grew last year, what we expect to see in the future, we are very confident that we have enough ongoing revenue to sustain that spending.
It's really two budgets. The normal spending plan has about $2 billion extra dollars. The special federal money from the American Rescue Plan is another $2.8 billion. That money must be committed by 2024 and spent by 2026. A big chunk, $400 million, will go to COVID response. There's also substantial money for infrastructure, highways, water systems, broadband, and money to rebuild college campuses, to upgrade the state's struggling information technology, even to build the Rock Island Corridor Trail.
These are big projects that are going to take a few years to get going.
From the general revenue, Parson wants to target child care with $722 million, money he considers essential to getting workers back on the job. Education funding will see increases at all levels, and the governor will pump $228 million into raising the pay for state workers.
To be able to staff our prisons, our mental health institutions, our youth facilities, to answer the phones, to upkeep the websites that citizens interact with us, we need to be competitive with our wages.
Hogg says most of the money is one-time funding, and thus most of the spending is one-time spending. He also noted the governor has no intention of blowing every penny of the surplus and will hold substantial money in reserve. Still ahead, rising COVID cases at area schools having an especially big impact on school nurses. And moderation might no longer be key. Why a study is urging folks to avoid alcohol altogether. School nurses have always played a large role during outbreaks of illness, of course, and that's no different during the pandemic. Anderson Elementary School nurse Angela Riley says she's been busy throughout the pandemic, and the recent rise in cases is still a concern. The district took some days off last week to get their numbers under control, and she says she and the nurse's office are still working to test students.
So that's definitely an aspect of it, is doing the test here in the school, on top of our normal daily duties that kept us busy anyway. So it's added a little extra to it. The staff is wonderful as far as just being a team player.
Riley says she's also trying to care for students emotionally and reassure them that they're going to be okay. Health officials in Kansas are working to improve the availability of COVID-19 testing. The department says as the numbers of positive cases rise, the demand for testing is also increasing, causing delays in receiving tests and getting test results. In response, the Kansas Department of Health and Environment says it's increasing staffing at existing testing sites and working to add 13 new testing sites. The department says it's looking for new laboratories to reduce wait times for test results and is searching for large indoor testing locations to prevent closures because of bad weather. There's growing evidence there is no connection between COVID-19 vaccinations and fertility issues. Researchers from Boston University and other institutions across the U.S. looked at data on more than 2,000 women and their partners in the U.S. and Canada who were trying to conceive from 2020 to 2021. Nearly 75% of the women and their partners had received at least one dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Researchers concluded the vaccinations do not impair fertility in either men or women. However, couples in the study did actually have lower chances of conception if the man had been infected with the coronavirus within 60 days. That indicates COVID-19 could affect male fertility in the short term. More research is needed on that, but according to the National Institute of Health, fever is known to reduce sperm count, and fever is a symptom of COVID-19. There's a new sobering report from an advocacy group representing hundreds of heart associations from all around the world, and it may have you reconsidering that next drink of alcohol. Mandy Gaither has more.
Moderation is key. That's been the guidance on alcohol from the American Heart Association. But a new global report now says no amount of alcohol is good for your heart.
I think the World Heart Federation got it right.
The report called out claims that moderate drinking, such as a glass of red wine a day, can offer protection against heart disease. In a statement, the co-author saying these claims are at best misinformed and at worst an attempt by the alcohol industry to mislead the public about the danger of their product. There are plenty of ways to promote heart health, including controlling cholesterol and weight and regular exercise, says Cleveland Clinic cardiologist Dr. Stephen Nissen.
The problem is there are people who think, well, gee, if I just have a drink a day, I'm protected from heart disease. And that's fundamentally wrong.
Drinking alcohol increases the risk of several health problems, including coronary disease, high blood pressure, stroke, and several types of cancer. In 2019, nearly 2.4 million deaths were attributed to alcohol. Those deaths weren't only heart-related. The bottom line:
there's no reason to drink to try to protect your heart.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
I just report the news. The World Health Organization has called for reducing alcohol use per capita by 10% between 2013 and 2030. But the report says a lack of investment in proven ways to reduce alcohol and misinformation from the alcohol industry has hindered the progress toward that goal. Later, if you like basketball, boy, we have a treat for you. Lots and lots of high school basketball highlights and college scores coming up in sports.
And if you like cold temperatures, we have a treat for you because it's going to be another cold night tonight. When are we going to warm up? We'll take a look at that coming up. Well, it was cold today. Temperatures struggled to warm up all day long as we only went into lower 20s for highs. And another cold night for us tonight. At least we had the sunshine, just our temperatures, they didn't go anywhere. Here's a nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo, right on the west side of Seneca. Looks pretty good. We have clear skies out there right now. Unfortunately, it's cold. We really didn't warm up much today. Look at our highs, only into low to mid 20s across the region. Look at our current temperatures. Gets a little bit worse. 14 in Nevada, 14 in Neosho, 18 in Miami, 16 in Welch. We have 10 in Parsons, 12 in Yates Center, and these temperatures will continue to drop as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Good news here, at least the winds aren't as strong as what we had yesterday and earlier today. Kind of a northeasterly wind at about 5 to 7 miles per hour, but it still gives us a wind chill factor. It makes it feel like it's 2, 3, 4 degrees out there on the Missouri side, a little bit better once you get into northeastern Oklahoma. Here's 7th and range line, currently outside, sitting at 13. East northeasterly winds at about 5. Humidity is at 62%. We have clear skies. Nothing is going on here. The entire 4-state area, clear. Nothing is going on. In fact, the lower 48, decently calm. We have some waves across the Gulf Coast and the eastern seaboard. We got this wave, parts of Montana. That's not going to affect us. In fact, nothing's really going on. This is a pretty good indication our weather is going to be fairly calm as we go through about the next 3 days. Then we'll start to see some changes. Let's break it down. Tonight, we're going to go about 7. So it's going to be cold. As we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, look at the winds that kind of switch out of the southeast. Better than what we saw today, but still cold. Starting at 7, 29 by noon, plenty of sunshine, high temp at 34, easterly winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, cold, not as cold. We'll drop back near 20, and then let's go into the weekend. Partly sunny skies on Saturday. Back to normal. We get back into the mid 40s. So Saturday looks pretty good. We still have to deal with the wind chill factors tonight, which are going to be near 0, but at least these will start to climb as we go through the daytime hours for us tomorrow. So a warming trend into the weekend. Let's move to Sunday. I think most of us are going to go about 50 or 51 degrees. Now I stopped it at 5:30 because you know what happens at 5:30? The Chiefs kick off. So if you're heading north, Arrowhead, right on the southeast side of the metro, about 41, 42 degrees, which isn't bad. We'll drop into the 30s, but pretty good football weather. Our next storm system rolls in on Monday. We start to get some rain in here. Cold front slides in. Now on the back side, we may get a little bit of snow. It doesn't look like a big deal, but we may get a little bit of snow. Then we cool down Tuesday into Wednesday, and then we start to warm back up by Thursday and Friday. So pretty calm besides that system on Monday. Most of the next week looks pretty good. 34 tomorrow, 44 Saturday, 51 on Sunday, which is fantastic. 52, but rain on Monday, and then cooling back down Tuesday and Wednesday, back into the 40s on Thursday.
I like the fact that you stopped that forecast momentarily at kickoff.
5:30 is a very important time on
Everything
Sunday.
stops
Yep.
for football. Thanks, Huck. Repairs are in full swing inside Missouri Southern State University's Taylor Performing Arts Center 2.5 years after it closed. The center closed in July of 2019 because of structural problems with the main stage, stairwells, and rigging system. Missouri lawmakers last year provided $2.5 million to make that 47-year-old facility usable again. The university expects repairs to be complete later this year. Coming up in sports, the Missouri Southern women get a big upset tonight against one of the best teams in the country. And the four-state Raider Classic begins at Frontenac High School. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
This week is tournament week here in the four states. Frontenac is hosting the four-state Raider Classic beginning today. On the boys' side, tournament host Raiders kick things off tonight against Fort Scott. Now the Raiders on a roll to begin the season. They're 6-1, ranked 5th in the state in Class 3A. A slow start for both teams, but Michael Doria, big three to force a timeout. Raiders have some momentum. He finishes with 9. A nice play here. Caston Fields, offensive board, puts it back in for 2. Then Colin McCartney, first game back from illness, gets the bucket and the foul. Frontenac up 31-19 at half. Now on the fast break, look at this, McCartney to Jordan Fudge. Two-handed jam. Now Fort Scott now off the miss. Marquin Johnson spins and finishes. Team high 12 points for Johnson, but this one, all Raiders with McCartney leading the way. Gets through everybody here for the nice finish. McCartney finishes with 20. Frontenac moves on. They win at 62-43 over Fort Scott.
Really, after the third quarter, we started pushing the ball. I told them at the half, you guys got to push the ball up the court. That's what we do. Once they started pushing the ball up the court, we beat the defense setting up, and then we had a good look at the rim. We've never won our tournament, and we've never placed second in our tournament. We had third place 2 years ago. So our expectations is to be playing for first or second place on Saturday. That's our expectations, and we make them high, and we try to achieve those.
Staying in Frontenac earlier in the day, pair of Missouri teams, 8th-ranked Webb City taking on Nevada. It's a pretty fast start for Webb City. Dante Washington finds Cole Vaden in the corner. He's good from 3. Then Caden Turner on the break finishes. 7-0 run for the Cardinals to begin the game. Timeout Tigers. Now out of that timeout, Nevada gets something going. Bryce Budd, little floater goes. Then later in the quarter, Evan Ray connects from deep. Just a 6-point lead for Webb City after 1, but in the second, they got pretty hot. Dante Washington, good from 3. Then Washington assisting again. Look at this, just a rocket pass. Finds Max Higginbotham. 19-3 quarter for Webb City. They're up 35-13 at the break. Now second half, check this out. This is what I showed up for. Cole Vaden off the glass to Caden Turner for the jam. Webb City cruises by Nevada tonight, 70-29. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons host the Bill Hanson Memorial Tournament this week. Now, both the girls and boys brackets get started today with 4 games on each side. Now, the Pittsburgh boys open tonight against the Owasso Rams. Pittsburgh 7-1 through 8 games. They're currently ranked 10th in the state in Class 5A. The second quarter, Hayden Murphy drives and the foul. Second quarter, big one from Murphy. Right before half, Murphy back to work. He scores 7 of the team's 12 in the second quarter. Dragons up 3 at half, but Caden Fry comes up big in the second half for Owasso. Spins and scores. Fry gets 17 points, all of them in the second half. Rams take the lead. Other end, Mason English going to work and the foul. English leads Pittsburgh with 25. Purple Dragons cannot get back in front. Owasso wins it tonight, 58-46. After that one, last game of the night, it's a big one. Joplin taking on Blue Valley Northwest. The Huskies are the 2nd-ranked team in Kansas in Class 6A. Now this one was a good one, but Joplin falls a little short, 63-56. This week is a big week for the Pitt State women's basketball team. The Gorillas face two ranked teams in the next 3 days, beginning with a road trip tonight against Nebraska Kearney. Now, Kearney is 14-2 this season, ranked number 14 in the country. PSU trying for their third straight win. Kearney, though, would go on to win this one 72-58. Freshman Sydney Holmes gets a double-double for Pitt State with 10 points and 10 rebounds. On the men's side, the Gorillas looking for a much-needed win tonight in Kearney. Pitt State's lost 3 straight, currently sits at 4-12 overall, 3-7 in the MIAA. Now, they lose this one tonight, 88-79. Ryan Pippin scores a team-high 22 for PSU. The Missouri Southern Lions are also in action tonight on the road. And for the Southern women, it's a big opportunity this evening, facing one of the best teams in the country. The Lions are in Hays tonight, facing the second-ranked Fort Hays State Tigers, looking for their 4th straight win. And look at this. What a win for Southern. 54-41 over the Tigers. Lacey Stokes, 21 points, 4 steals. Amaya Johns adds 9 points and 10 rebounds. After that one, the Southern men hit the floor against the Tigers, trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss. Stan Scott leads the way, scoring 21, but Southern falls short 89-71. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran specialist. Harley Collier served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Lamar, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Specialist Harley Collier. He's tonight's 4th state hero. It was cold last night and it's going to be cold again tonight.
Yeah, actually a little colder tonight than last night. We're just not going to have the extremely low wind chills. Dropping down to about 7, 34 tomorrow, so we're heading in the right direction. 44 Saturday, 51 on Sunday, so we do turn around pretty quickly. Some rain chances rolling in by Monday.
Final sports now.
I got to give a shout out to the Carthage boys basketball team. They're playing at the Ralph Miller Classic in Chanute tonight. They beat the #1 ranked team in Kansas, Class 5A, Andover Central. They'll play for the championship now at the Ralph Miller Classic on Saturday against Bishop Miege.
Good for them. Good luck. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m., and let's make it a great tomorrow.
Salon service is provided by